Yo, what's up, and welcome to Sodaia Online Multigaming Guide how to program in PHP. I will pretty much tell you or teach you how to program PHP. It will be done through a lot of videos because I can't do it in one video. That would be like sick. But anyway, so the first thing you're going to do when you're going to start developing websites and such is go into your browser, which in my case is Firefox. The next thing you're going to do is go on Google. And when you've done that, you'll go into the search field and search for XAMPP. That is like an Apache server, so you can pretty much like host a web server on your computer. And pretty much you're just going to take the first one and you will get to this page. Then you're just going to download the one you have. And sorry. And it should start downloading stuff. And there. And you will just get this one and install it. When that is done, I'm not going to do it right now because I already have it installed. But the next thing you're going to do is go to the place where you installed it. It would be called something XAMPP. And in here you're going to start up this one, the XAMPP control.exe. And this is where you pretty much start your server and so on. Okay, so I'm just going to show you something. If you have Skype on your computer, like this, and you try to run this, it will give you an error. That is because for some reason Skype is running on one of the same ports as XAMPP used to host your local host or your server website, and that is not good. You can do two things. You can either go into your server and like set a new port, otherwise just close Skype and it should start up. And there you go. Now you have XAMPP installed. The next thing you're going to do when you start developing is, when you're in this XAMPP map, you're going to find the htdocs. This is where all your coding is going to be, because this is essentially the website folder. So let's go into your browser and do localhost. You'll just say, okay, I can find the server, but there's nothing in here, like I can't see anything, I don't know what to do. So the thing you're going to do is go into your htdocs and make a new file and call it index.php. You can call it things like, I don't know, HTML and so on, but we're not going to use HTML, we're going to use PHP, so use the PHP extension. And this is the extension. Okay. And to do this, you need a few programs if you want. Like, you can use Notepad if you want. Notepad, like, and you can start developing stuff. But it would be stupid to look at in the end. So you can go and get a program called Sublime Text. You can go and get this program, which I use most of the time because I like this one. Or you can go and get Notepad++, also a pretty popular program. When you've done that, you pretty much go back. Like, you can install both. I have both on my computer, but it's for other reasons. And we'll just use Notepad++. So I'll just close a few things. We're going to have the website there. We're going to have the code over here. So now we are pretty much ready to program. So this is, of course, our folder, and when we refresh this one, it's going to give us a blank page because now it has a file to read. And when you load a website like this, the first thing it's going to look for is an index file. You can also have a default like this. default, and it will also find this one. If you have it called, sorry about that, if you have it called stuff like, it will just give you an error saying, hey, I don't know where to go because I have no index to refer me to anything. But you can still go in here and get the code. But we're going to call it index. Okay, and of course, drag it over. This, okay. So, this is your code, and this is your website. So, now when you're going to do PHP, we require that you have the basic knowledge of HTML, CSS to do this, but you don't need it. It's just useful because you're going to develop websites, so it's useful to have. So when you come into when you see this two, you can just set it up as you want. Like you can have this one over here and this one here, and yeah, it doesn't matter. I just like put it this because it will be easier to show you guys. So the first thing you're going to do is starting the PHP script. If you just start writing here like echo and let's say save it because this is PHP code. Let's refresh it. But I just wanted to say hey too. Why isn't it doing that? It's because it's actually not. It's not reading this as PHP. It's reading this as text because it is just a text. To do this, we always need to start our PHP script with PHP. Okay, inside of here, we're going to do PHP code. Like see echo. Okay, and let's refresh it. Now it's going to say hello world, and it's going to say echo. So when you're going to do PHP, you're always going to do it inside of these brackets. We can just remove this. So now I'm going to tell you about the basic PHP command. We're going to talk about echo commands and print commands. That will be. It's not going to be a long video. It's primarily just like to show you guys how to set it up and so on. But I'm going to teach you guys how to use variables and use print commands. Okay, let's go and refresh. We have a blank page and we're ready to code. Okay, so print commands or echo commands is your function to print out text on the website. You have print. And when you do this, you always need to have it inside of these. So let's say, for example, I want to print this. You'll just print whatever you want in here, like hello, hello. So hello, and let's say that we want hello and my name. Hello, hello Simeon. And it's going to say hello Simeon, but we could also do it up here instead and say hello Simeon, and we'd do the same thing. And echo commands is pretty much the same thing. It works on the same way, like this, echo. And you can't do this, I don't think. Yeah, it will give you an error like you can do equals to and so on. So when you're printing out text, you need to have it inside of these brackets and like these things here, I don't know what it's called. And inside of here you will have the text you want to print out on the website. So you have print and echo. Okay, that's your print commands, like your saying command, if you can say that. So they are pretty much just to print out text on the website. So the next thing we're going to talk about is variables. Variables is used like all the time in PHP. You can't find any piece of working PHP script that almost don't have any variables because it's the best about PHP. So how variables work is when you're going to make a variable, like make some kind of make a name that contains something. It's pretty much to make like things that contain things. Like, let's say my name, and you need this dollar sign because it tells the PHP that dollar sign it's going to have a variable after this dollar sign which will be name. So variable name equals to, let's say, Simeon. And remember, you always need these most of the time when you've done any PHP, because it's going to run this command and it's going to say stop. Like this, it's only going to run this and set the name as a variable, instead of, like, if you would do this and run the program, it will not give you an error. Why won't it do that? Just like. Yeah, okay. So if we set like up here and here, it won't give an error anymore. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, variables is just contain text. So my first name would be Simeon, and my last name would be Doll. So now when we refresh the website, it's not going to show anything, because these are only PHP code that can see this. Like, you can't see it on the user. Even though we check source page, we won't get anything. Okay, that was kind of stupid. Sorry about that. We won't get anything because, yeah, it's only PHP. To print these out, you can do the echo command. Echo. And you would just do first name. Okay, alright. So first name and last name. So this would work, right? And no, it doesn't work. And I can tell you guys why. When you guys are trying to print out things like after each other, so we wanted to say Simeon Doll in like one row, you will have a dot, and it will work. Simeon Doll. It will say print out. It will say echo. Find the variable, which is this one, which has Simeon, and you have it here. And then it's going to say dot because we need to add more text. So we'll just say find this variable, which is Doll, and it will print it down here. So in case we it's nice. It's nice. And you can have as many variables as you want. But if you use the same variable, like if I do, if I print this, it will say Simeon Doll. And I do like Jens, it will be Jens Doll because we initialized the or declared the variable up here, but then we declared it here as well. And it will run the program like from the top and downwards. So we're just going to say, okay, first name has Simeon, last name has Doll. Okay, now first name has a new variable, which is Jens, and then it's going to have Jens as a variable right now. And that is how variable works, and you can have as many, like, and you have like you can have as many variables as you want, and you can echo them out. And this was very basic PHP. I will make some more tutorials about how to use it, like how to use it with some functions and how to use it with, so it actually makes sense to have it, like, instead of just printing out hello, my name is blah, 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 because you can't use that for anything. But pretty much echo, print, and variables. Though these three are pretty much the most used, and if statements, but we will come into that later. But these, play around with them, like make functions and make some variables and print them out and so on. Just like play with it. Like play around with it and see what you can make. Yeah, that would be it for this tutorial. In next tutorial, I will probably be talking about if statements. Um, so yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment. I will be on TeamSpeak, our Sodaia TeamSpeak, where you can come in and ask as many questions as you want. And yeah, until next time, see ya.